I was doing some maintenance on my carnivorous plants, and I realized that I had not touched my moss farm in a while. So I thought I would talk about the moss farm. So I started out with a clump about this big, and I realized that growing carnivorous plants, I was going to use an awful lot of this stuff. So I had to figure out a way to make it myself, or to grow it myself rather, because a quart of this stuff is like 20 bucks. It's insane. So I got a little piece. Probably started out with a clump about that big. I got lucky and got a little bit from a friend. And what you do is you just chop up all these little pieces. You just give it a little haircut every once in a while. And when you do, you take all the pieces that you cut. You fill in any bare spots. This one I've already done. So, fun fact, this is actually the second take on this video. The first one I screwed up the audio, so I have to do the whole thing over again. So I take these little pieces and I fill in any bare spots. And the base of this is just regular old peat moss. It's nothing exciting. Just I get a big giant bag of it from the Home Depot. Um, Fill in the bare spots like that. You give it a little water, which I have already done. I use distilled because these two go in my carnivorous plants. I don't necessarily want the moss to soak up any minerals or anything from the water that could potentially damage my plants later. So I just use distilled on this from the get-go. And yeah, I filled up one of these. And when that was done, I filled up the other. And when that was full, I filled up the third one. And I actually had 5 at one point, and I realized that that was way too much moss. And so I sold a couple of them, and 3 seems to be about right. Now, they don't need a whole lot of light, but I do feed them. I give them Maxi. I use the carnivorous plant dosage, I guess, mixture, which I think is a quarter of a teaspoon for a spray bottle of water, which is just one of those big industrial sprayers that I get from Home Depot. Hang on, let me find it. Just one of these guys. And as you can see, I left it in the sun and it grew algae, so I have to clean this out before I use it again. But I give them a good feeding with some Maxi, and I think I haven't watered these for probably 3 months. So, I mean, the water that you give them lasts for quite a while. And they don't really need a tremendous amount of light either. I have them on the top shelf of my plant stand. There is a grow light up there, but it's not sitting directly under the grow light. So yeah, every once in a while I get them out and I feed them and I water them and I redistribute all of the moss into the little naked spots. And then I stack them up like so. And I do rotate out and in which one is on the top so that they get equal light. And that's where they live, on the top shelf there. And I always have live moss for my plants. So yeah, pretty handy.